The maker of Tonka trucks, their CEO said it's going to cost $40 for their toys right now because of tariffs and inflation, but you have no evidence of that money being used to fuel terrorism.
Well,
if everything's fine, then why do farmers need a bridge payment from the agricultural department?
Sorry?
We have a few clips of Scott Bessent on Face the Nation as the MAGA cope tour for this failed Trump administration continues, so take a moment, leave us a like on the video if you can. We're on the race to 30,000 subscribers, and let's just get right to the takedown with some fact checks ready.
If everything's fine, then why do farmers need a bridge payment from the agricultural department?
Sorry?
Why would farmers need a bridge payment from the agriculture department then?
Because these prices haven't come in, because the Chinese actually used our soybean farmers as pawns in the trade negotiations. And we are going to create this bridge because, again, agriculture is all about the future. You've got to start financing for planning next year when things will be very good.
Except farmers never needed a bailout under Biden. They're going to need a second one now under Trump. Agriculture routinely was growing in its profits under Biden, and Trump came in and entirely derailed that within months. And he should have known better. That's the worst part about it. If anyone should have known, it was Trump. His attempt at tariffs in his first term led to him having to massively bail them out then, which is why this time it's even worse. Soybean farmers are they're especially feeling the brunt of it, with many farms being unable to find markets that they can sell at and even break even because of reciprocal tariffs from China, because of Trump's pointless trade war that led to 0 of the 90 deals he promised. You gotta love MAGAnomics.
The maker of Tonka trucks, their CEO said it's going to cost $40 for their toys right now because of tariffs and inflation. It was $30 the year before that, 25. Prices in the toy space are accelerating, and people are feeling that.
Well, Margaret, inflation's a composite number, and it's roughly the same year over year. And if we were to look at all imported goods inflation is below the inflation number.
That's not exactly true, and a lot of the tariffs have been walked back or delayed, which is why we're seeing a stall in these effects that people are warning about, even though many are still happening. What happens is companies try to offset the money lost by tariffs by increasing the prices of products. This doesn't only have to be on the tariff item. It's going to be largely on that, but it could be a general increase across the board. When one price goes up X amount, 25%, you could see a 5 or 10% increase on the other ones. That is typical, right? Which of course then affects that's just going to affect all markets, even non-tariffed ones. The price increases are often higher than the price shocks the company are even experiencing. If the tariffs cause 10% increase in the prices, you're going to get 20 or 30% increase in consumer prices. And often they're going to remain even after the inflationary pressure resides. But if you look at many of the imported goods from the countries we're tariffing, the prices are through the roof, including on toys, right in time for the holidays. But I'm sure, guys, 180ing on inflation and pretending it doesn't matter anymore is a strategy.
That money has gone overseas, and we are tracking that both to the Middle East and to Somalia to see what the uses of that have been.
Okay, but you have no evidence of that money being used to fuel terrorism at this point, which is what some conservative writers are alleging.
That's why it's an investigation. We started it last week. We'll see where it goes. But I can tell you that it's terrible. Representative Omar tried to downplay it. Said, "Oh, it was very it was very tough to know how this money should be used." Yeah. She was gaslighting the American people.
Well, we'll talk to her.
Yeah, but when you come to this country, you got to learn which side of the road to drive on. You got to learn to stop at stop signs, and you got to learn not to defraud the American people.
I find this especially hilarious considering Donald Trump was found to have defrauded the American people for hundreds of millions of dollars, and all MAGA could tell us is how it doesn't matter because there's no real victim in this and that, running defense for the straight white billionaire, of course, but now for Somalians, it's cause to deport them all and no longer let them back. You tell me what the difference here is. Let's just call this for what it is, right? They're looking for any reason to say, nope, no more Browns can come in, which is why anytime an immigrant does something, anytime a foreigner does something, or even just a person of color, it becomes about culture. It becomes about how that culture is not compatible with America. But when a white person does the very same thing, these same discussions are not had. It's because to them, this is a white man's country.